Hi everyone, how are you all? Just trying to pin this. Where are we? How are you all? So good to see you. Hope you guys have had an amazing weekend. Oh, so many names I recognized. Right, okay, so I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what to expect before we dive in. So, thank you all for being here. That's so cool. Okay, so the abandonment wound is one of the most common wounds that I actually see through my practice. And the more I work in this space, the more I'm starting to see that our abandonment wound is often sitting at the core of our other wounds, such as not feeling good enough or low self-worth or not deserving. So when we can get to the very core, we can start to collapse the other wounds more easily. Now, I just want to check, can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Just gonna check, can somebody let me know if they can hear me? Oh, beautiful, thank you. Sometimes my headset plays games with me. So, okay, so I just wanted to speak slightly to the abandonment wound before jumping in. So the signs of an abandonment wound, there's actually a lot, and a lot of the time we are in the space and don't even realize it, which is why I write on it so much. So some of the classic signs are that we might attract unavailable or needy and possessive partners. We might over-attach really quickly and fall in love really quickly. We might feel really insecure or unsafe, and we find it hard to trust or ever feel, safe in a relationship. We do have a tendency to attract toxic relationships, and we do often stay in them much longer than we should because the idea of being on our own is just downright terrifying. We're often afraid to speak up or put boundaries in place in case the other person leaves. And the idea of a partner leaving us really causes us to panic. The other side of it is that we'll often hold people, or in particular people who want to be intimate or in a romantic relationship with us, we will hold them at arm's length. And if they were to, want a commitment or come on too strong, we're likely to put a wall up and maybe even, run, get the hell out of there. And the idea of letting people get really close to us can actually really be quite terrifying. And it's really common for us to be able to play both ends of the spectrum depending on the dynamic that we're in. So, the abandonment wound usually comes about really early in childhood. In fact, I've noticed that it often occurs in the womb. It usually occurs in response to a disconnection, an emotional disconnection, often from mum, not always, but often from mum. And we don't have to have actually experienced a physical abandonment for this to happen. And to be quite honest, I look at the way most of us live today. Most of us are working, both parents are working, we might be working full time and not have enough time for our kids. This kind of dynamic and situation can cause an abandonment wound for our children. So other things can be maybe a parent that was sick, a narcissistic parent because they're actually unable to attach. There might be an alcoholic parent, or obviously one that is actually absent altogether. You might have had like a number of siblings and it was just too busy, so you didn't get the time that you needed and that you really deserved actually. So when we have an abandonment wound, or any wound actually, we create beliefs around it. We might create beliefs such as, I'm all alone in the world, or everyone leaves me, or maybe I have to be super fend for myself, I can't rely on anybody else. Or there might be something around, there's something wrong with me, or I'm unwanted. I definitely resonated with that a lot. And with each belief that we create, we also create a set of patterns to cope with that belief. For example, if we had a belief that everybody leaves me, we're most likely going to create patterns where we'd be inclined to either cling on to people or just not attach to them at all. And that way we can stay in control and a little more safe. So the key is that we need to go into subconscious mind where the beliefs actually sit and dissolve those beliefs. And in dissolving those beliefs, we're able to also start collapsing the patterns that we play out also. So I hope that makes sense so far. Now, so what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to go through a guided healing specific to the abandonment wound. Now, we will go very deep. We'll go into your subconscious mind. You'll be able to get a snapshot of some of your beliefs around this space and also your patterns. When we're working one-on-one, obviously we can tailor it just for you, so we can go a lot deeper. But this is still very, very effective. So what we're going to do, this is a blend of, traditional inner child work as well as quantum and galactic tools. I'm very much guided by my guides, including the Arcturians in particular when I'm healing. So a lot of the stuff that comes through and what I do within my healing sessions has actually come from there. It's not so much third dimensional. Now, the process. What we're going to do in a moment, I'm going to give you a wee bit of an overview. We're going to connect in a moment actually to one of the inner children that we have attached to the abandonment wound that we're carrying. Now, for a lot of us, this can be the first time we've ever been seen. So don't be surprised if there's some tears. And I'll be honest, sometimes even I get a wee bit teary when I'm facilitating these processes because they're just so beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful and loving than connecting with that hurt part of you that's been sitting there for decades, waiting to be seen and loved, and bringing them home to you. So don't be surprised if that happens, okay? Right. Okay, I'm just going to put my oils on. This will probably take maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. You can do this sitting up or laying down, whatever's comfortable for you. Best thing is though, just maybe not to be interrupted if you can help that. Right. So what I'm going to get you to do first is I'm going to get you to think about a particular time where you have either been really afraid of being abandoned, or it might be a time where maybe you've thought that somebody was going to leave you, or they haven't rung you for a few days, you've really started to really panic. It may be a time when somebody has tried to connect with you, somebody as in a partner has tried to connect to you and you've just completely freaked out about that and put a wall up. So I want you to think about a particular time where you've felt that emotional charge around abandonment. I'll give you a moment to do that now. Now this doesn't have to have been in childhood. In fact, it's probably best that it's actually more recent in adulthood. Good. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a moment and I want you to put yourself back to that particular time where this happened. And I want you to remember who else was involved, where you were in that moment. And I want you to just replay that event in your mind. And I want you to notice when you replay that event, whereabouts in your body are you feeling that emotional charge? Beautiful. Now you might be feeling it in more than one place, or you might be feeling it all over. I want you to notice, where is it most intense? And often it's the first place you felt it. I want you to really start to hone in on that particular area. That's where this emotional trauma is trapped. So I want you to focus on that part of your body. And I want you to recall again the event that happened. And I want you to notice, how does this feel physically in your body? Just the physical sensations. Is it tight? Is it heavy? Is it restrictive? Just notice now the physical sensations. Good, excellent. Now I'd like you to take a moment, and we're going to go a wee bit deeper. And I'd like you to notice what emotions or feelings or words are sitting in that part of your body. And there might be things like fear or panic or desperation. I'll give you a moment to notice now. Beautiful. I want you to go a little bit deeper. What emotions are sitting underneath there? There might be sadness, rejection, alone. Just notice now what's sitting underneath. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, so what I want you to do is we're going to go a wee bit deeper now. We're going to dive in where you've got these emotions sitting there, these feelings sitting there. And I want you to notice the younger version of you sitting in this part of your body. Now, if you don't see them or feel them early on, I'm going to get you to imagine that you can connect with them, and that will bridge this for you. So just diving into those deep, painful emotions and just connecting with that younger version of you sitting in that part of your body. They're going to be feeling really similar to how you were feeling. I'll get you to do that now. You may notice more than one. Now that's most likely going to be an inner child. Occasionally it might be a teenager or older, but it's nearly always a child. If there's more than one there, I want you to connect either with the youngest or with the one that's really calling to you, the one that's really standing out. Amazing, beautiful. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go in. I want you to imagine going into that little one. And I want you to wrap them in a soft pink coloured blanket. That soft pink for unconditional love. I want you to connect with that little one now. Just go in, wrap them up in a soft pink blanket. If they're small, pick them up. And I want you to notice, are they feeling comfortable there? Or would you like to move them to another location? Often they're not comfortable in that room or in that space. So take them somewhere nice. Take them somewhere like the beach or outside in the sun or somewhere where they want to be. I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful. So what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to mirror back to this beautiful little one some of the things that you noticed about how they were feeling. For example, if they were feeling scared and confused, you might say to them, I know that you're feeling scared and confused. So we just mirror back what they were feeling, okay? The other thing that makes this really potent is that we make eye contact with them if you can. Even if you imagine looking them in the eyes. The reason for that is that many of us with an abandonment wound, we did not have that connection. Something very powerful happens with these inner children when we're able to make that beautiful connection and eye contact with them. So if you can do that now, and it's very normal for that to fade in and out, so that's totally okay, and just do your best and don't stress if you can't. So I want you to look at this little one now in the eyes, and it might be that they're sitting on your knee or all wrapped up, and I want you to let them know, I see you. I see you and I love you. I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful. Now I want you to mirror back what it was that you noticed how they were feeling. If they were feeling scared and confused, you'll say to them, I know that you're feeling scared and confused, but I'm here now. You're safe and you're loved. I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful. Now, I'm just going to speak through you for a moment. Okay, so just keeping that eye contact as best as you can. I see you. I want you to know that I am your future self. And I have come here today to bring you home with me, where you belong, where you will always be safe and loved, and I will always be here with you, loving you, supporting you, protecting you, guiding you. I will always be here. I also want you to know that what's happening right now is not about you. It is not your fault that you feel alone. The reason you're feeling alone is because the people in your environment are unable to provide you with the connection that you deserve and you need. But it is not because of you. And there is nothing that you've done to deserve this. Beautiful. So what we're going to do now is I'd like you to ask this little one, what is it that this little one wants you to know? Or what do they want to say? I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful. If they're not ready to talk right now, that's absolutely okay. They will be by the end of the process. But it's really important for us to empower these little ones with a voice. So I want you to notice what it is that they had to say to you and mirror it back. They might have said something like, I'm always alone, there must be something wrong with me. I want you in that case to actually mirror back to them, I know that you have a belief that you're always alone, so there must be something wrong with you. But I want you to know this isn't true. There is something wrong with the environment you're in, but there is nothing wrong with you. So I'll give you a moment to do that now. So mirror back what they said to you and give them the reassurance that they need. Beautiful, well done, well done. So now what we're going to do is let us call forward all the other parts of you that feel alone and afraid and panicky and unseen, maybe unheard. Let's call them all in now, and you're going to notice there's probably going to be quite a few. There might even be an auditorium in there, and that's totally okay. We'll often see lots of different ages, but they all carry the same wound. So I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful. Okay, so now for the really fascinating part. With this original little one, what I'd like you to do now is I want you to listen or see what it is that they say when I ask, what beliefs have you formed? Now they're going to say things like, I'm alone in the world, nobody wants me, I'm not safe. They're going to have those kinds of beliefs. So listen out for them. So once again, what beliefs have you got? Beautiful. So what I want you to do is I want you to take that belief, we're going to mirror it back to this little one. So for example, if they said, people always leave me, you might say to them, I know that you have a belief that people always leave you. I want you to know that I am here to stay. I will always be here and I will never leave you. So mirror back their belief and then give them the reassurance that they need. I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful, well done. Now, with that particular belief, they're going to have created patterns. So let's see what those are. So what I want you to do is say to them, and you take the belief that they just said, if you have a belief that everybody leaves you, or whatever their belief was, I want, what patterns have you formed? What patterns have you created? And for example, if they had a belief that everyone leaves them, they're going to have patterns like they hold on really tight and don't want anyone to go. So I'll get you to do that now. If you have a belief that, and whatever their belief was, what patterns have you formed? Beautiful. So with that pattern, I want you to mirror that pattern back to them and then give them a reassurance that they don't need to do that anymore. I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful, well done. And let's have a look to see what other beliefs they've got. So let's just ask again, what other beliefs do you have? Let's see what they say. Beautiful. Once again, I want you to take that particular belief, replay it back to them, mirror it back, and let them know that it's not true. So just give them the reassurance that they need, but the key is mirroring that back to them. I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful, excellent. So let's take that belief again and just let them know that we'll ask them, if you have a belief that, and whatever their belief was, what patterns have you created around that belief? I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful, beautiful. Once again, take that pattern and I want you to mirror it back to them and let them know that they don't have to do that anymore. That you're going to be here loving them, supporting them, protecting them, no matter what they do or don't do. I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful. Let's do one more because there's always lots of patterns and beliefs. Let's just ask them one more time. What other beliefs do you have? Beautiful. Now just take that belief, once again mirror it back to them, letting them know that it's not true and giving them the reassurance that they need. I'll get you to do that now. And let's take that belief and ask them if they have a belief that, what patterns have they created as a result? I'll get you to do that now. Beautiful. Let's take that pattern, replay it back to them, and let them know that they don't need to do that anymore. You're here loving them, supporting them, and you always will be. Beautiful, well done. So what I want you to do is, first of all, I want you to notice, how's this little one feeling now? Often they would most likely be starting to get really quite relaxed and calm compared to where they were before. A lot of this is because we've mirrored back to them, you know, how we've seen them and we've heard them, we've empowered them with a voice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get you to just imagine or see this little one and the other little ones all completely surrounded in violet light. Just imagine them completely immersed in violet light. The violet light transmutes and alchemizes, so it will actually transmute a lot of this energy. And I want you to take, I'm going to hand you now, it's a beautiful clear crystal, imagine like a clear quartz with a rainbow radiating out of it. This is a fifth dimensional tool, and it's filled with light codes, activations, healing, and of course it is absolutely perfect for you. So I'm going to get you to place that into the part of the body where you initially felt that emotional charge. So I'm going to pop that in there now, and we're going to put a drop of Golden Divinity. Now this Golden Divinity enhances the healing of the rainbow crystals, okay? So I want you to imagine the rainbow and gold just rippling through the body of this little one. So you can actually imagine their organs, their skin, everything lighting up with this beautiful rainbow and gold, and just pushing that all the way out into the auric field. And I'm just going to extract a wee bit of that heavier sort of energy. I've got a magnet that will just take that out. You might actually see or sense some of that darker, heavier energy being drawn out of that part of your body. Beautiful. Now we're going to fill this little one up with lots of soft pink, our unconditional love. Good, just fill them all the way up. So they're filled with the rainbow, gold, and soft pink. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do now too is we're going to merge the other little ones in, or the other inner children in with this original little one. So they just become one. We're going to shrink them down to the size of a baseball. And then we're going to place them into your heart. And I want you to imagine this little one being placed into your heart. And we'll let them know that they are home now, where they're seen, where they're safe, they're heard, they're loved, and you will always be there to love them and protect them. It is time for them to rest now and receive the love that you have for them. Beautiful. Okay. So I want you to notice how that little one is. They won't always be sleeping, but they often are. And I want you to notice how you feel. And I also want you to take a little tiny peek. Don't dive in too deep, but just have a little peek at the scenario that you used before as your trigger. Just have a little peek at that and see how you feel compared to how you feel now and how you felt before. You should notice quite a big reduction, if not a complete dissolving of that. So I just want to give you a heads up. It's really, really normal to be ridiculously tired, like really tired after doing healing like this. The reason is that this little inner child, as you've just seen, has been has had a whole lot of beliefs and has been playing out a whole lot of patterns to uphold those beliefs. For example, they might be people pleasing or fixing or caretaking or whatever it is that they've been doing, or maybe overcompensating just to make sure nobody leaves them, right? So now that we've done this work, we've dissolved a good portion, if not all, of that particular wounding, which means that that little one can finally rest, because they will have been on high alert your whole life, making sure that they did these patterns and they upheld those beliefs to keep you safe from being abandoned ever again, right? So now that we've done this work, we've dissolved a lot of that so they can finally rest. And if you've been somewhat on high alert or in survival, which many people have, especially with this particular wound, you wouldn't have been able to rest properly because you would have been on high alert, okay? So that is why for a day or two after doing a process like this, you can actually be extremely tired. So if you've noticed that you are, and you can take a little bit of extra time to rest, just do, because your body is actually changing, you're actually healing, okay? So it's really, really normal. Now, one other thing, you're so welcome. So one other thing I just wanted to mention about this is that I would suggest each day, just maybe for the next week or so, connect in to this little one, because remember that their wound was an abandonment wound. We've told them you're going to be there. So all you need to do is once a day for a minute or two, just imagine that you can see or feel this little one, and just connect in and see how are they, what do they need. If they need more, unconditional love, bring in your soft pink. You'll never go wrong with rainbow gold and soft pink. You never go wrong with that. So just bring in more energy. But the main thing is that they see you connecting with them, because remember, they've been emotionally abandoned up until now. So it starts to build that trust. And when they trust that you're going to be there for them, everything relaxes. They can trust that others can be there for them too. Okay? Now please let me know if this was helpful to you or not. Maybe even on one of my previous posts about this, let me know, because I'm really happy to do further healings like this if it's going to be useful for you guys. And I just want to thank you so much for being here right now and sharing your beautiful light. I really do love and appreciate you all. Bye-bye. You're so welcome.